Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some signs that the rich might feel that a recession is coming. Based on recent activity in the real estate market in America, there are some indicators that the rich are starting to feel that a recession is basically upon us, right? Or that a recession is coming. A lot of tech moguls have actually been starting to sell off their homes, their luxury real estate. Bosses and employees alike are all starting to be very fearful that their continued raises are going to be coming to an end, that their bonuses might not be secured for this year, that their job might not even be secured for this year, because a lot of tech companies, their valuations are starting to come down, their prices are starting to come down, and a lot of them have announced that they're actually going to be engaging in layoffs. Luxury real estate agents are quoted as saying that the elephant in the room these days is that a recession is coming. Now, some people would attribute the fact that the housing market is cooling off to rising interest rates. But if you think about it, interest rates don't really affect the rich because, well, they don't usually take on mortgages. They're usually buying their homes in cash. So that leads people to wonder, why would the rich be so concerned about rising interest rates if there wasn't something else to concern them, right? So that is an indicator, at least, that these rich people feel that there is a recession or something coming down the pipeline that they need to start preparing for. So the fact that tech companies' valuations are falling and the fact that tech companies are starting to engage in layoffs is actually much more concerning to these rich folks than what interest rates are, right? Because they're not as concerned about the interest rates, they're more concerned about their job security. Another thing that real estate agents are starting to see is that asking prices are starting to come down from sellers, and as well, there are fewer projects for home builders to be working on. And of course, buyers are also much more price conscious than they were before, and they're much more discerning. According to Redfin data, they show that sales for luxury homes have come down 18% in just the past 3 months, and for regular non-luxury home sales have come down 5.4%. Now, in some cities like in New York and San Francisco near Silicon Valley, the luxury home buyers actually make up a major percentage of the home buyers in a given area. And so by the fact that the market is going to impact whether or not they're going to buy, that actually has a trickle-down effect on the entire market. Another thing that realtors are noticing is that the market is moving from a very optimistic market to a much more conservative market. Buyers are much more discerning. There are fewer people showing up to open houses and fewer people in the market looking to buy a home now currently. Another reason that people think that high earning tech employees and bosses and all of that are starting to become more concerned is because tech people tend to also have been invested in crypto. And so crypto has obviously crashed recently as well. So they're not just potentially concerned about their jobs, but they could also be hurting as far as compensation in the form of equity in the business that they work for. And when the valuations of those companies come down, their compensation in the shape of equity is worth less. And then as well, if they're invested in crypto, their crypto has gone down. So they're not just concerned about their job. Even if they keep their job, they're concerned about the fact that their overall assets are now worth less. Some realtors are saying that on a $3.5 million home, they used to have 20 people showing up to an open house, and now they only have about 5 people showing up. There are other realtors who are also saying that after listing a home, it took 2 weeks before they even got just one call, and that was the only interest that they got on the property. That same realtor says that half of their current active listings have actually had sellers cut their price in a 7-day period. So all of those half of her entire portfolio of homes that she's currently listing have all had a price cut in one 7-day period. Some of these tech and crypto whales have actually been trying to offload their properties currently. So not only are they not trying to buy, but they're actually now trying to sell because they fear that the housing market is currently at its peak. They're going to go down. So they want to try to lock in some gains on their home, especially because they're actually hurting in their stock or crypto portfolio or their equity in the company that they have or their compensation, right? So essentially, a lot of these realtors are noticing that their portfolios of houses have actually gone up, homes to sell, which is an indicator that it's going to be shifting to a buyer's market because the supply of homes will be going up and people will be hoarding homes a little bit less than they were before. Some agents are saying that they see similar trends overseas. This is not just unique to the United States. Up until now, in the past 2 years, people were completely disregarding the appraisal value or the market value of a home, and they were basically just buying with their hearts just because they could borrow mortgages at very low interest rates from the bank, and there was this fear in the market that you had to go out and buy because there wasn't going to be a home available and these prices were just going to continue to go up. People were even buying homes with no contingencies, right? All cash, all of that. So like a lot of that mentality is now starting to shift, and realtors are really starting to see it. So these are all obviously indicators that the rich are starting to feel the market is shifting. They're starting to get nervous, even though the interest rates aren't necessarily affecting them. But some people do say that they think that this is just a lull in the market, and the market might rally again in a couple months' time when the stock market starts to go back up. So recently we've started to see the stock market is going to go back up. We don't know if it will stay up. It might go back down again. But if it stays up, some people think that that is an indicator that people's equity interests are higher, people's stock portfolio is higher, and they're less fearful about borrowing money and taking out mortgages. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts generally on the housing market, whether you want to see more videos like this from me. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Catch you in the next one.